The poetry of probability. Legend of rich strike. The four horses of luck. The gate was full. Circumstance said no vacancies. So fate unplugged the sign, unlatched destiny's door with a scratch. Another horse pulls out, a silent reshuffle, and just like that, an underdog enters the scuffle. When luck walked away. But this story didn't start with roses and garlands. It started with ashes. Eric Reed watched his barn burn, 23 thoroughbreds placed in an urn. Smoke rose where dreams used to sleep. And when they asked if he'd quit, he said nothing, silent, stoic, unwilling to submit. Because sometimes when luck walks away, grit walks in. The field was stacked. Fast forward to 2022, the Kentucky Derby. The favorites? Epicenter, racing royalty, Zandon, looming like a loaded spring, Messier, named after a hockey god, Taiba, undefeated, unflawed, Mo Donegal, momentum in muscle, million-dollar bloodlines, billionaire owners, trainers tracking every flick of the tail. And then there was Rich Strike, a claimer, bought for $30,000 in a sport that spends that on hay, entered into the fray. 30 seconds before the deadline. Odds? 80-1, the longest shot in over a century before the starting gun. The four types of luck. 1. Blind luck. The lightning strike, the accident that makes action possible, where the universe fumbles the script. One horse scratches, the door cracks open, and Rich Strike slips through like a breeze between a tower of trees. Blind luck. Yes, but that's just the beginning. 2. Luck from motion. This horse wasn't lounging in the stable. He was grinding, training, willing and able, clocking laps when no one watched, galloping without fanfare. Because when you prepare for the Derby, you prepare to become rare. Motion creates momentum. So when the bell rang, he wasn't lucky. He was ready. 3. Luck from awareness. Final stretch. Chaos. Cameras flashing. Bodies dashing. Mud flying. 20 horses charging like thunder. Intensifying. And there, a gap. So narrow you'd miss if you blinked. But Rich Strike didn't blink. He saw it, slipped inside the rail like instinct pre-mapped into muscle memory. That wasn't chance. That was vision sharpened by a glance. Even the announcer couldn't believe it. And here comes Rich Strike out of nowhere. The voice cracked because disbelief isn't scripted. 4. Luck from unique character. They called him wild, bid another pony after the race, didn't behave like a Derby horse ace. But some spirits aren't bred to be tame. The underdog became under horse, running like a force of nature through Kentucky's course. You can't coach that. You can't breed it. You don't design it. That's just who he is, the DNA of defiance. He was a firework with 4 legs, a rebel with reins, the kind of horse who doesn't win the Derby until he does. And then everyone pretends they always believed. This wasn't just a horse race. This was a physics lesson in potential energy that the overlooked aren't always under-equipped, that quiet horses can become the loudest voices when the moment calls for it. This was a sermon in speed, a masterclass in maybes, a testimony from the trainers, the horses, and every kid who's ever felt left off the roster. Because the truth is, the world isn't always won by the fastest. It's won by those who keep running when no one's watching. So was it luck? Yeah, all four kinds: blind, motion, awareness, character. But maybe he wasn't the lucky one. Maybe we were. To watch a backup plan rewrite history, to witness 80 to 1 turn into 1 in a million. To be reminded that statistics aren't prophecies, they're just probabilities, and sometimes the improbable becomes undeniable.